Hey bud, remind me, never put the Q&A. Did I not? What? I thought, wait. Oh my God. No, bro, what? Bro, and I confidently thought that I left it on there, bro. What the hell? Oh, that's messed it up. Oh my God. Is there a way I can bro? Wait. Okay, oh my God. Oh, that's messed it up. That's messed it up so bad. Right, okay, so what I'm gonna do another one of these lives, okay, and I'm gonna figure out how to put the Q&A thingy on the page. But for now, after I finish discussing what I want to do, I want you guys just to basically ask the questions here. Okay, essentially. Right, I don't know why I'm sweating already, but it's a bit hot. Come on, guys, pump the jam. Why? Pump the jam. Pump the jam. Okay, that's better. That's not better. That just made me sweat more. Okay. Okay, turn the AC on. Oh yeah, let me just turn the AC on. Hey, it's my lamp, guys. I got a lamp. It's really flexible. Does it turn on? It's not plugged in. Whoops. Okay. Goodness me. Righty. What the lamp look like? A lamp is what it is. Poopy Pop, thank you for the gift. Okay. All right, so let's get started. Okay. So, we're gonna do this we're gonna do this in kindergarten. I'm only using that term because there's more Americans than UK people here. But anyway, hands up for anybody who has seen my story. I'll try fit in as well. I'll just raise my hand here. Because I'm the one that posted it, you know? See, we got some people doing it. Okay. So, forgive me if I stutter a lot, because when I'm trying to figure things out, I stutter. So, I'm sorry, but I will try to get to the basis of what I want to do. Okay. So, I need to drink water first before I start bugging. Right, I don't know how I'm gonna... It's already spilled. Look at that. That molecule. Right, okay, let me just... So I've got to take the mask off to actually drink this. Hold on. How high do I have to pull it up? Okay, that's really goofy. So this is probably how Spider-Man drinks water. Right, that's besides the point anyway. Okay. Ooh, okay. So, a lot of people managed to see my story, and saw that I was going to be bringing something new into the channel. Regardless that I am unfortunately quitting on TikTok, I'm going to be doing some lives where I'll just be talking about mental health and how it affects young people, because I have a really, really massive story to give you guys on how my mental health has been affected on this app. And hopefully when I express that story, it will give you guys sort of like a leeway into opening up about maybe problems you're facing and you need advice. Like if you don't have anyone to talk to, like if you're not comfortable talking to your parents or talking to your friends or anyone, therapist maybe, then if it makes you more comfortable, I don't have to know the full thing, but if it makes you comfortable like hearing part of your problems and you need advice on how to help you, for example, like how to cope with anxiety or troubles at school, starting at school, because it's almost September. So that's what I want to do. So that's kind of like the basis it is. So alongside like gameplay lives or just regular talk lives, I'll like be dedicating a live where I will just be helping you guys in just have a conversation with you guys and just helping you guys out. Because from what I've noticed in all my time of being in TikTok, I've noticed that there's like been more younger people than like adults. So like the age range I'm predicting is like possibly like 12 to 16. That's like my rough basis of like my age range on this app. So I think from like a young person to another young person or persons, I think the advice would probably hit more. And since I've noticed that people do look up to me, from what I've seen anyway, that's not me like confirming, that's just me like guessing, it'll probably help. So if anyone joins like halfway through and doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about, please just like mention them and tell them like the basis of what's going on. Anyway, and I'll probably make a story about this again. Okay, so I'm gonna kick this off by explaining how my mental health has been affected on this app. I will try my best to make it as short as possible, but we're going all the way back to June 2023 and up till now. So it's probably going to be like a long talk. So again, if you do not want to stick around for that, I understand, but it's going to be a long talk. There will be kind of like, am I going to say sensitive topics? Is it that sensitive? There will be like there'll be upsetting topics in here. So if you are sensitive to topics that I'm about to mention right now, which is oh my gosh, I don't know how to put it. Do you know what? I'll talk through it, and before I say it, I'll tell you guys. But it's nothing like really like deep, essentially. So I'm gonna start talking now, and we'll hopefully make our way through. I will probably keep this live on for like roughly an hour, depending on how things go. But as for now, just sit back and listen to this. So let me make sure this is positioned correctly. I'm trying to, like, this is annoying me because there's so much space. Okay, let me actually drink water real quick, okay? Hold on. See it and respond to it. Then after I'm done, I will be responding to you guys on whatever queries you have, etc, etc, and yeah. Okay, so this is my story on how me, Eddie, that only British spider, has experienced on this app. So what people don't know about me is that I'm not a person who typically likes to speak about my feelings openly. That's just me in general, and especially not on social media, because I don't know how that'd be passed around. So I was more like not too open about it, but I feel like this is a chance to be open about it so people can actually understand how I felt throughout this, because you know, some of the things people say aren't really typically the truth. So let's go back to June 2023. So June 2023, I was opened to TikTok. As we all know, if you don't know, I'm surprised, but I started this account because of Across the Spider-Verse. I was introduced to the character of Hobie Brown, and me, as being an aspiring voice actor, I decided back then, let me just make a voiceover of Hobie Brown, because I thought he was a chilled out character. So I was like, you know what, let me voice him, let me post it on TikTok. It's probably gonna flop, but I just want to show people what I can do. So I sent it off on TikTok, and then I sent one off. It got like a couple likes, a couple comments, appreciation. So I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. I'll keep it consistent. And there was this one, I think it was like a second part. I made it and it blew up. When I mean it blew up, it blew up. It blew up like crazy. What I'm thinking now, I think it has like 500,000 views and like almost 100,000 likes. And there were a lot of comments. And then, by the way, I'm going to be very personal about this. So I'm going to share my personal feelings. So when I looked at those comments, I was like, damn, these people are like, they really like me. So I was like, huh, this is new. So I literally took on board that, and see my followers were going up and up and up and up. And I was like, okay, this is getting out of hand, because I wasn't expecting my account to blow up this much. And I kept checking back time after time and only noticing that the videos kept blowing up even more. I was like, what the hell's going on? So after that, I got 1K followers, and you know what? I was like, you know what? Let's kick it up a notch. Let me go live. Let me go live for the first time in my life. So I went live on this very table. That's different now. It's not the same table, but I went live. I put my phone, and on my computer there was like a picture of Hobie Brown, and I would just talk about whatever. And yeah, so I got introduced into being live and noticed the amount of people that like were very like, oh, he's very sweet, he's a sweet person. And whenever I talk about topics, they were on board with it as well. Like, it felt like a really like good connection to speak with people. And roughly it was like, let's say 100 people to 200 people on live at first. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then as time went on, okay, it blew up. We're talking from like 100 to 200 to like 1,000, 2,000. And that went out through August, September, October, November. And honestly, before I knew it, I think I have the right to say that I was like a popular page back then. Like, a lot of the people in the Across the Spider-Verse fandom knew me because of Hobie Brown. Like, there were many videos that blew up. There were continuous edits of me, edits of my voiceovers, of my lives. People made animations. People made consistent art. It was such a joyful experience of my life, honestly. And I could say this until I'm like 80. That time in summer 2023 was probably the time where I felt happy in a really long time, because prior to that, I was bored. Like, I was quite lonely, in fact, because I didn't have that many, like, I knew people at school, in my school, but I didn't really like talk to, well, how do I put it? They didn't really talk to me outside of school. Like, you know, when it's like school friends, you only know them because of school. Okay, when it's out of school, you practically don't know them that much, unless you have like a couple friends that are chill. So that was honestly a great experience. So a few people know here that I made a Discord server as well on Discord, obviously, yeah. And I kept posting the links on everything, so it was kind of like a server where everyone could just come on there, chill, talk to me, have a few laughs, all that. And it was pretty wholesome. So my mental health back then was like great. Like, it was smashing. Like, I felt loved, and it was honestly great. So as time went on, there were like a lot of issues that were rising up with specific people. You know, there were arguments, and there were a lot of stuff that just was crazy, because from my top of thinking, there was a situation on live where I'm not gonna name names for obvious reasons, but there was a person that was like posted on live that said something like they've seen me before, and it was meant in a jokely way. But the day after, I began to know that there were like some controversial stuff said to that specific person. And when I saw that, I was in college. I think it was on like 1 p.m. I was in the middle of a lesson, and someone DM'd me, because like my phone like blew up to anything, like any notification. So when I saw that in college, I was busy doing like practical work. So I saw that and I was like, what the hell? What was going on? So I looked into it, and while I was trying to focus on my college life, I was also having to focus on people being dumb. And that honestly like blew me back for a bit, because I was like, the same people who enjoyed my creation are now spewing hate. So it kind of like, it threw me off. But I addressed the situation. The situation was okay after that. And it just kind of blew me back for a bit, because I was starting to get like a bit more suspicious. But as lives went on, things went fine again. So around, let's say, my memory's running short because I haven't thought about these in a long time. So around, let's say, October, November time, there were these things called, let's say, rumors. And, you know, whenever someone, I'm just going to say this off the basics. If you ever aspire to be a content creator or a popular person, whether that is on Twitch, on YouTube, or TikTok, no matter how nice you may be or how caring you are to other people or how popular you get, you are going to face pathetic allegations, pathetic rumors made up by people who just want to bring you down. And I had to face that truth and confront that truth months later, because whenever I saw these rumors and allegations, I was in disbelief, because obviously that's not true. But what blew me back the most was my fans. Oh, sorry. Hold on, let me do that. Some of my fans, because they are of a young age, 13, 14, young people in this generation are more fixated onto their mobile devices than actually leaving the house or just doing any physical activities, because they were so hooked on their phones. That's the generation that we live in, and that's mostly the truth. So young people who are typically fixated on their phones are more likely to be gullible to any sort of news that comes out. So what upset me the most is whenever I'm assuming it's some group of people, because I began to find out that there was like a whole Discord group that for some reason absolutely despised me. Like, they despised my page, they despised the people I knew, they tried to hack into someone's account to get stuff off me. And there was a specific time, I think in October, November time, where I was coming home from college. I was waiting at the bus, and a couple of people that I knew on TikTok were messaging me saying, Eddie, you've got to see this, you've got to see this. They're saying this about you, they're saying this, they're saying this. So when I saw this for the first time, I can say that I was honestly I was shook. Because as a young person, I was 16 at the time. And when I saw the disheartening allegations and rumors about me, it honestly blew me. I didn't know how to react. Honestly, it just gave me this anxious feeling, because we know that cancel culture is obviously a thing. Cancel culture is something that was made in I think 2019, 2020. Cancel culture is probably one of the most brutal ways to deal with a human being, especially who's popular as well. Because cancel culture how do I put it? It's really a strong way to bring someone down, because you're not only dealing with your creations coming to nothing, but you've also got to see what people are saying to you, the true things, and the posts that are made about you, the videos that are made about you, because I had to deal with that. Because then again, I was still a lonely person, because you can be popular and have all these people, let me reference Michael Jackson, for example. I know that's a huge contrast between me and a full-time singer. Michael Jackson was known across the whole world. He had several fans, several people that came to his concerts. But even through then, he had so much people who loved him. But even then, he was still a lonely person. He rarely had anybody to talk to, rarely had family to talk to, rarely had friends to talk to. He was mostly alone. And that was this feeling that I had, because when you're having all these sort of strange and disheartening allegations made against you, it just pushes you down. And when you have no one to talk to, it makes you overthink. And that's the kind of things that I want to reference when it comes to dealing with mental health. Because I'm not self-diagnosing anything. Let me just get that out of the way. I do not self-diagnose at all. Okay, I don't do that at all. I'm just speaking from how I felt at the time. So do correct me if I say anything off. So whenever I opened those allegations and seeing all these videos and posts about me, it was honestly just heartbreaking to see. It was heartbreaking to see that people were believing all these awful things about me, and it made me feel really, really bad. And it just, I don't know. It was just really upsetting at first, because I didn't know how to react. Because many people knew what I do. I just come on here, do some stupid stuff on live, go on my phone, go live, talk to you guys, go on Roblox, and that was basically it, So seeing the fact that there were all these rude sorry, I was just checking the amount of people here. Seeing all these like allegations come up, they were really disheartening. And it became like rumor after rumor after rumor after rumor. And that's how it went in January, went on in February, March, April. Whenever it would seem that nothing is happening, something will just come up at like the end of the month. It would be like, oh, Eddie's done this. There's screenshots of Eddie saying this. And the more I see it, the more I'm like, why? Like, why? I never understood why these people could never come to me first just to have a conversation, because this is what some of the people did. They would specifically like create like some sort of like gang or cult to bring me down. Like they would, instead of like addressing the situation with me, because if you have a trouble with me, then you can come and speak to me directly on TikTok, because my direct messages were open for anyone to send a message to, and I responded to some of them. So if you had an issue with me, then it would be best to come to me. But that's not what the people did. They would forge stuff, they would post things, they would make videos, they would make all these false rumors. And eventually I had to address it on my story, where let's say around maybe 10,000 or 20,000 people used to see my lives back then, because this was around like December, November time, where I was still very populated. So you could be like a whole new fan and see me post something on my story about addressing all these rumors, and I'm not gonna know what that person thinks of me when they see that, because one, they don't know me. They could literally they could have seen a voiceover of me and open my story and see that I'm dealing with some sort of like allegations. So I don't know what they're gonna think of me. So it's very disheartening. One thing I've always wanted to tell you guys is that no matter how strong or positive, no, oh my God, I can't speak. No matter how positive you want to be in the world, there are always going to be people that want to see your downfall than your upbringing. And I've come to terms with that, because the amount of betrayal, the sadness that I've been through doing this, making people happy, has actually just affected me. So let me bring you guys more around this time. So for those that didn't know, there was like another situation that was going around like May, June, where a person that knew me for some time said all these cruel things about me. One of them were telling me to myself, and that one by itself, honestly, just I didn't know how to react, genuinely, because I'm not a sensitive person. But if you're saying that to just like someone behind a screen, like, why? Because it's not gonna be something you're gonna say to them physically. Like, saying that by itself is borderline wrong. And I know for a fact that no one's gonna have the guts to say that to someone physically. So they'd rather say it through the screen. And when I saw that at first, it honestly just, it hurt me. It hurt me, because you're telling someone to die. And it brought me down, because at the same time, it was over such like a massive misunderstanding that never needed to be escalated so high. And because of this is where my mental health started to like deteriorate. So whenever, I'll give you guys an example. Hold on, let me take a water break, because I've been spewing a lot. Okay, so as I was saying, when I came across that, let's say I've just woken up. The first thing I would do, I wouldn't open my blinds. I wouldn't even get out of bed. The first thing I would do would literally be open my phone and check TikTok if anything has happened. Because of these continuous rumors and allegations that were coming out, I was genuinely like frightened. I was scared, because once you deal with another rumor, another one comes up, and it's 10 times worse than the previous one, over and over again. So it would come to a time where I would literally just check my phone out of fear, thinking something would happen. And sometimes there would be something that happens, there'd be sometimes that didn't happen. but most of my days, around like the weekends, I would literally be in my room in fear, thinking something would happen again, because I was honestly just struck. I didn't know how to like cope with it, because I only had like a specific friend that I would talk to and call and tell her everything that was going on, because I needed someone to express that to. Because one thing that is best is whenever you're going through something very tough, something that scares you, something that you don't know how to cope with, then I can promise you speaking to someone is the best thing you can do, borderline. Because once you get to let all those feelings out, you just feel better in yourself and you feel more confident to confront it. So after all these came out around June, I decided to take like a break. Like there was a time, I think you guys already know this, but I completely went offline TikTok. I took down all my videos. I think, majority of all my videos. I closed off my messages for good. I deactivated my Roblox account and I just went offline. Because honestly, after dealing with the rumors that were coming out, I was like, do you know what? Let me stop like putting myself into all this like continuous stress and let me just go offline. And this opened my eyes, because after I left and started taking these breaks, it felt good. It felt like a weight was lifted off me, because I could actually like focus on my life. Until there would be times where I would be just either speaking to my parents or speaking to my mates, and there would just be like a time where I'd start overthinking. I'd start overthinking about TikTok and like, is something gonna happen when I come back? Is something gonna be said? Or are there gonna be people that hate me now? It honestly just made me overthink like constantly. And it didn't really give me like a rest of mind, you know? And one thing that I still struggle with till this day, is that I can receive a message from anyone on TikTok today, and whenever I just see like their notification pop up, my heart will like immediately drop. Okay, there has been times where I receive a message from someone here and my heart will just drop for no reason. If I just see a notification, my heart will drop. And honestly, that's not normal. That is generally not normal. Like, I should see a message notification and be like, okay, what's going on? But if I just see the notification, my heart will drop. Why? Because I think something else is gonna happen. Do you see what I mean? And that has been something that just constantly happens. And I haven't been able to cope with it for some time, because that's why my message requests have been off. I'm probably gonna stay that way as well, because whenever I just see like message requests, my heart just sinks, because I just think something else has happened. And it's not like I can escape it. So that's one thing that I'm struggling with now, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to cope with that as well. But one thing I want to tell you guys is, take this as a way. It's safe and it's good to open up. Okay, in this generation, there's been some sort of movement where speaking about your mental health makes you look weak or embarrassing or not competent. And I just want to tell you now that speaking about your mental health to someone you appreciate, someone you love, or someone you feel even comfortable with is the best thing you can do. I swear, because this generation is honestly like, it's bad. It's really bad. It's really bad. Like, when I mean bad, it's bad. Because the stuff I see on TikTok these days of how people tolerate people, like, for God's sake, TikTok, like, racism is normalized on TikTok. Like, trust me. That's the same thing with Instagram Reels as well. Like, some people take that as a joke sometimes, but if you see the comments and see some of the stuff that people say, it's concerning. Even if it's for like a joke, it's concerning what some people say. Like, when you actually think about it, the way a lot of things are normalized, not only on this app, but social media as a whole, and the impact that it's having on young people, it's genuinely scary, and it's very bad. But if there's always going to be a shine of hope that there are still going to be people that are actually like normal, that understand people, then one thing I want you guys to take away is don't be afraid to open about your mental health. Obviously, don't open it up to people who are not going to care that much or not going to show any interest in it. Just make sure you express it to someone you appreciate, someone you like, someone you know who will who will take that advice. I can't speak. Who will take that forward and just have a conversation with you. So that's one thing I want you guys to take on with, essentially. I don't know why I've been talking so much, so my words are just blah 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 blah. But hopefully you get like the basis of what I'm trying to say. Okay, I'm gonna take a water break real quick and try to finalize what I was trying to say. Also, I know that was a lot, so if you have any questions, please do start listing them so I can answer them. And if there is any advice that you would like, please let me know and I will try to respond to it. Okay. I'm gonna turn my brightness on, so the live is gonna like bug out. So okay, are we good? Are we good? Are we good now? Okay, we're good. Okay. So yeah, if anyone has like any questions about any advice or how to cope with anything, please just send it over. Or have any questions about what I've been going through, then please let me know. Excuse me. Free my dog. No, for real though, free me. Are you doing okay now? I wouldn't say 100%, but I will say I'm recovering in a sense. I'm recovering. I'm recovering. I'm not like 100%, but I'm still trying to cope through it. I think it just have to be like something I have to grow up with and understand as I get older. Okay, let me try see some of these questions and whatever. Bloody recovering, thank you. We love you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You know, there are still some good people that are still here, even from 2023. So I respect that. You know, I really respect it when people like stick by, regardless of what happens, because there's always two sides to one story. Thank you guys. This live just made me know that I shouldn't belittle my mental health. No, absolutely don't. Do not belittle your mental health. Mental health is so important. Okay, it should not be something that is overlooked. I promise you that. I promise you that 100%. I promise you that. One thing I will tell you guys that's very important. If you are coping with, because I'm still studying about this because it's an interest I've decided to study. If you are coping with things like anxiety or depression, what I can advise you is speak to someone. I know that sounds very like anticlimactic, but if there is someone that you're very close with that understands you and gets you like 100%, like if you tell them, you know that they'll stand by you, then speak to them, like do stuff with them, go out with them, just enjoy your time with them. Honestly, do not close yourself out like I did, because it impacted me more than I actually thought it would, because I closed myself off and it did not help. But make sure you speak to someone that you know that will be on board with you 100%, and just live your life. You know, you guys are still young, okay? You've still got years before like adulthood comes in, and when that comes in, it's not good. Well, it probably is good, but I don't know. People's lives are different. But let's see. What if you don't have anyone to talk to? Okay. This is how I cope through it. Okay. So there's two things you can do. If you're a more social person, then I do recommend doing things like meditation, yoga if you must, if it helps, because I think if you just train your body to relax, you won't, how do I put this? You hopefully won't stress as much, but also keeping yourself occupied, keeping yourself busy, not giving yourself time to overthink, just keeping yourself busy. So that could be like walking out, you know, if you have a dog, if you have a cat or any some sort of pet, spend time with them, take care of them, find hobbies to do. Hell, if you want to play Roblox, then that is something that you can do, because I think that the best thing to do is keeping yourself busy is the best way to just relax yourself. Yeah. I hope that kind of answers your question. If you want me to go in depth, then let me know. Let's see what we got. This person said, at some point, did you feel like you had to pretend to be fine for lives and stuff? I don't know about pretending, but I decided to look behind it and focus on making people happy and just doing the things that I enjoy. I think that was best. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Oh, okay. What to do if you want to talk to your parents but are making it hard? Okay. If you mean by like, wait, hold on. What to do if you want to talk to your parents but they're making it hard? Okay. That's actually a good question. So, obviously, there's like different types of parents within cultures on how they respond to things. But if you have a more decent emotional connection with your mom or your dad, I think that just, how do you mean by making it difficult? Is it like being occupied with work, or you don't really get along with them? Forgive me if my answers don't sound like very specific. Let me know and I'll try make it better. I get along with her, but she just switched up on me recently and won't speak to me. Okay, I've gone through that as well. One way to cope with it, from what I do, I normally just keep a distance between them for a bit. Because if my mom starts acting up in a way, I just back off. I back off and try to occupy myself by either playing like video games, just focusing on things that make me happy. Because if there's like an argument that I have with my mom, I normally just go off and listen to music. Because I know some parents do make it like very difficult to talk to. Like when a parent starts blanking you, it feels so like heartbreaking in a way. It's been a week? Oh my God. Yeah, I do say perhaps one way to do it is just try to talk to her calmly. Because I know one thing that is very difficult with parents is trying to get your parents to hear you out. That's one of the most difficult things to cope with, because that if that's your mom, if that's your dad, if it's like a single mom or single dad, it's very difficult because that's the only family that can hear you out. So I understand what you mean, but you just gotta give them some time and approach them when the time is right, and just have that calm talk with them and try to express their feelings. And if they don't, then honestly, wait for them to come round. You gotta wait for them to come round. Because if you cannot push your parents to like change the way they feel with you, then there's not a chance. There's nothing you can really do. Get yourself some treats if you're feeling down, bro. Because me, if I'm down and I see like Krispy Kreme donuts, I'm officially happy, bro. So that's me. Eddie, one of your friends are blackmailing me and I can't block them. I don't know what to do. Let me try to think about this, okay? Because there are some situations where times like that can be really tough. Is it just between you two? Or is there like a group involved? Like, try to make it a little bit more specific so I can find some like leeway. I struggle with letting go and I really want to, but I don't know how. Okay, so there's a lot of past traumas that can happen, and one way that you could possibly overcome it is perhaps maybe confronting it and trying to, let me think about that actually, because that's a really strong question. I'm still doing my research, guys, so sorry if my answers aren't really like on par. But past trauma, Yeah, one thing that I've known is that past trauma is one of the hardest things to confront, especially if it's difficult to let go. But one thing that I would suggest is possibly going to your mum or dad, grandparents, and opening up to them. Because when you open up, they will tell you the truth, and hopefully they should help you try to overcome it. I'm so sorry, I'm sweating, bro. Then again, what I'm still gonna say is talking about your feelings is very important, disheartened in a way. So that could be going on in a walk, playing with pets, watching a series, or just creating any sort of hobby, or get into a hobby. Because keeping yourself busy is one way to just push something aside, even if it's momentarily. I just spoke about unhealthy relationships, so thank you for this talk out. Oh, unhealthy relationships. I'm very proud of you for overcoming that. I'm very proud. Those are really difficult because people can be very stupid. The people that are causing the unhealthiness, not the people that are trying to get out of it. By the way, thank you. It's been a draining week. I keep on crying. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that. I'm really sorry about that. You know, times are always going to be very tough. But the best ways that you can just help yourself is just by talking to people. Talking to people, or just doing hobbies, or being by yourself. Even by being by yourself, there are some pros and there are some cons. But eventually things will get better with time.